Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we are going to learn how to make this really pretty hat. As you can see, I haven't finished mine off completely because I'm not sure if I have enough rows. This is a present for someone, so I just need to make sure it is the right length before I chop my yarn off. So let's have a close-up shot and see what the texture's like on the hat. The hat has a very pretty texture and is very easy to do as well. It is all done by single crochet and treble crochet. The brim is worked in the back loops only, and this gives the effect of the little ridges that appear on the brim. So let's get started on the lesson. So for this video we're going to need some yarn of your choice. 100 grams or 3.5 ounces is going to be plenty. We're going to need a pair of sharp scissors, crochet hook to go with your yarn. I am using a 8-ply yarn or double knit, and I think it's equivalent to sport weight yarn, and a 4mm hook because that's what is recommended for my yarn. And we're also going to need a sewing needle. So after you have all your supplies, I need you to go and make the basic crown. I will put in a link for the video just here, so go and follow that video and make your basic crown. Now, how do you know when it's big enough to fit your head? What you're basically going to do is follow that crown video until the outside circumference is 1 to 1.5 inches smaller than what you need the actual circumference to be at the end of the project. So if you need your head circumference, just say random number 22, you need to make it 1.5 inches smaller. So 1 inch to 1.5 inches smaller, so between 20.5 to 21 inches around the outside, because it will expand slightly and also you can allow for the stretching. So go follow that video and make your basic crown. Remember those tips and you should get a beanie that fits every time. So what we need to do after we have our basic crown, I've just finished off this colour. I'm actually going to start with the grey for the patterned part of the hat. So after you've made your hat, you need to have stitches that can be divided by 2. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, and that gives me 72 stitches, and I know that 72 can be divided by 2. If you've got one less round, I can't think off the top of my head what you're going to have, but as long as it's divided by 2, it's going to be perfect. If you need to add or take away a stitch, do so, and then we are going to get started on our hat. Now I'm not going to join it where I started here, I'm going to join it somewhere else. I'm going to just spin it around and join into this stitch here. So grabbing your new colour, or if you haven't changed your colour, you can just start where you finished off the last row. That's perfectly fine as well. So what we're going to do, I just need to chain one. If you haven't cut your yarn, you won't need to do that. We're going to work a single crochet into the same stitch. So we're going to work single crochet, and in the next stitch we're going to work a treble crochet, not a double crochet, as treble crochet. And what we do is we wrap our yarn twice. We go into the next stitch, we pull up a loop, we pull through 2, grab your yarn, pull through 2, grab your yarn and pull through 2. And what it's going to do, because the single crochet is a really short stitch and the treble crochet is a taller stitch, when we do our next stitch, which is single crochet, what it's going to do is make this treble pop. Now if it's gone to the back, you're just going to need to pop it out to the front. See how that's popped out there? It will get more noticeable as we go around. So that was a single crochet. Next stitch we're going to do a treble, so we're wrapping twice, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop. You've got 4, yarning over, pull through 2, yarning over, pull through 2, yarning over, pull through 2. Your next stitch you're going to work a single crochet, and you're going to repeat this all the way around. So how easy is that, hey? Just 2 stitches alternating between the 2. So just pop it out as you go. So you're going to repeat this around until we get to the beginning, and I'll show you what to do. So when we get around, we are finishing on a treble because our next stitch is a single crochet. If you haven't finished like that, double check your last round. Make sure all those stitches are right, because you may have miscounted this row here. You know what? Don't cry, don't stress. Add another stitch here. It's one stitch. It will not matter. You will not notice it. If it bugs you that much, make a flower and sew it on, and you won't even see it. So you should end in a treble. If you don't, stick a single crochet in that same stitch. So wait a minute, no, is that right? So you may be ending on a single crochet. Sorry. If you're ending on a single crochet instead of a treble, do a treble into that same stitch, and then you'll have your next stitch as your single crochet. That makes more sense. So we are going to slip stitch to the single crochet, and that is finishing off that round. So now what we want to do is we have to work a treble into the single crochet, and then a single crochet into the treble. So we're not doing the same stitch into the same stitch that's below. We're doing the opposite stitch. So this was a single crochet because that was our first stitch. So we want to work a treble. So that is a chain up 4. But instead of doing a chain 4, I'm going to work a single crochet, but do it 4 times. Like, okay, I'll show you because that made absolutely no sense. Go into the same stitch, so go into that stitch below, pull up a loop, and then pull through 2. Go into the vertical bar, see how there's 2 vertical bars, go into the left hand side and work a single crochet. Go into the vertical bar on the left, see how there's 2, go into that one and do a single crochet. So that's 3. We need to do 4 because normally it's a chain 4. So going into that vertical bar on the left and working a single crochet. And that is so that we don't have this little skinny chain and it's going to look funny. So we're going to work a single crochet in the next stitch. So into the next stitch we're going to work a single crochet. And that will pop out when we join it all together. So our next stitch is a single crochet down here, so this one up here has to be a treble. So going into the single crochet, working your treble. So does that make sense? We're alternating what the stitch is. So that's the treble, so it has to be a single crochet in the next stitch. And our next stitch is a treble, so, no, sorry, our next stitch is a single crochet, because we just went in here. That needs to be a treble into that one. So you're going to repeat that all the way around, and join with the slip stitch like we did on the previous row, and continue for the length of your hat. So I've just done my treble crochet into my single crochet, and this next stitch is a treble crochet. So that means we need to do a single crochet in the top. So working a single crochet into the top of the stitch, and that's our last stitch. And our next stitch is our chain 4. So we're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the last round we started with a chain 4, so this time we need to start with our chain 1 because we're doing alternate rows. So our next stitch is a single crochet, so we know our treble, so wrapping twice, we know our treble goes into that stitch. So we want to repeat these last 2 rows until your hat's long enough, and I might actually stop 1 or 2 rows before the end and add a couple of rows of single crochet. If I decide to do that, I will show you how to do that when I get to that part of the hat. So we'll catch up then. Until then, have fun crocheting. and I'll see you soon. Hi guys, so this is what my hat looks like so far. I'm just using the two colours. I'm going to use up some scraps. Then I'm going to change back to the pink, and I'm going to work a half double crochet round around here. So you can work the textured stitch as much as you like. And then I'm going to find the end of my yarn. And I used a 4mm hook for the textured stitch. So I'm just going to finish off this row, joining with a slip stitch. I'm sorry about this setup at the moment. It's late at night here and I just want to get this hat finished. So you've got enough light. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. That's better. So what we're going to do is grab our new yarn. If you want to, you can just continue on in the same colour if you like, but I'm going to change back to my pink. So I'm just going to loop it over the hook, like so. And what I've done is I did a 4mm hook on this part, and I've just gone up to a 5.5mm, because I find when I do a single crochet or a half double crochet, it becomes tighter than what the double crochet does. So I just go up hook size so that my brim doesn't get considerably smaller. So I'm going to chain 2, because we're doing a half double crochet, and then just in each stitch around we are going to work a half double crochet. Sorry guys, I just need to adjust the camera. I'm not on my usual spot, so I'm not in the right spot. So just in each stitch around, working a half double crochet, not a double crochet like I just did before. So going into the next stitch, so each stitch around. I'm glad I don't work like this normally, because this is really awkward. But where I'm sitting at the moment is the best light in the house at night time, so work all the way around until we get back to the beginning, and then I'll show you what to do. So when we get to the end, we want to slip stitch into the beginning chain 2. So this is our first and this is our second. We're going to go into the chain 2, and join with the slip stitch, and we are going to repeat this all the way around until your rows of half double crochet are long enough, and so the rows of your double crochet are long enough for the length that you want your hat. So I will catch up with everybody there. Have fun crocheting, and I'll catch up soon. So this is what my hat looks like once I've finished it. I haven't cast off the back there because I'm not sure if it's going to fit the person I've made it for actually, so I need to try it on them first, and then add or subtract rows if needed. So thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out our Facebook and Ravelry page. And until next time, happy crochet.